Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another series review and one of my favorite shows of last year, My Adventures of Superman. This is probably one of the best animated Superman shows that's come out since the original Superman, the animated series that came out, of course, during the time of the Batman animated series, Justice League animated series. The difference with this is this had a very invoking presence to it. It kind of felt like an anime on certain different levels, but at other times it felt like a refresher of what we know Superman to be, with all his ideals, with all his conflictions, but adding a lot of charm, a lot of comedy, and at the same time, a serious tone to it at the same time. So this is one of my favorites, and I was excited to go and check out the second season. And we've already checked out the first two episodes that are going to be debuting tonight. So we want to talk about it with you guys in a non-spoiler format in this series review. I have here my co-host for this one, Busy Braun. What's up, Busy?
What's up, man? I mean, last season it was a real surprise for me. I remember hearing about the show. I was like, you know what? Let's check it out. We love Superman over here, so let's watch it. And it did not disappoint. So watching it weekly was something I was really excited for. And season two, I'm glad that we were able to check this out, and it's been fun. It's been fun.
It's been really interesting because the way that the season left off, we didn't know whether or not we would get a second season. A
Hmm.
lot of the big things that people kind of the perception was that because the DC is starting a new universe and everything's gonna be tied together, is where we're gonna get a second season. Especially how it ended off with this possibility of an impending invasion and the possibility of a huge big bad coming into the fray in the last episode. But they started off with the bang the first two episodes because you get a lot that you've been waiting for from the first season, which is this payoff with the relationship of Clark and his father, his real father, Jor-El. And first off, the thing that I'll say is I love how they used Jor-El in the first episode. They painted this very interesting picture for what we know of him. So it kind of played like how you know him to be, but I think the thing about it, without spoiling too much, is how it all ended up. I felt like Clark got so much more information and understanding of who he is that's going to add to his world, but maybe cause conflictions with his relationships. And so I don't know, as far as like the certain character interactions, just coming off the first episode to now, I know there's a lot of different dynamics to change, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Lois, whether it's Clark. But what did you think about some of the character interactions and how they've kind of switched up very quickly?
So we dove right into this with you know, trying to phrase this correctly, but the change in certain characters. Of course, some characters are in a different position that they're in now. So we have some characters that are a little more confident than they were in season one, and then we have other characters that, of course, are just hiding stuff from each other, and it's just kind of like it feels like something that we've seen before. Yeah. So I mean, it's just really interesting to see the route that they're kind of going on, because at the same time we've seen this in a lot of other shows where it's like we have something I should tell you, and I obviously should tell you, but I'm not going to tell you because it's super inconvenient. And then when
Mm-hmm.
that person finds out, obviously it's going to be a whole thing. And we're in a situation where we have two people hiding things from each other, so obviously there's gonna be a blowback. But to see the interactions between certain characters, it's just like it feels similar to what we've seen in a lot of other stuff, but it I feel like the outcome is going to be a little different. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, just seeing how and I'm excited for everyone else to see how it unfolds. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's going to be a lot of conversations that kind of come from that, and a lot of frustrations with the way some of the relationships are being handled. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Without harping on too much and be really quick about it, one of the things, the reason why I love the first season is that once you got like a character conflict, they resolved it very quickly. They didn't draw out
Hmm.
certain tropes that normally Superman series or movies have done. And I think that because they've done that in the past, they're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna drop the ball with this one because there's certain things that have to be taken care of very quickly. And if the writing is anywhere near as good as it was the first time, I think we're gonna get like a real quick turnaround. I think the payoff is gonna be very important and very quick, because I think the thing about it is that there are a lot of impending dooms and dangers already, and certain characters that you guys are going to love, certain characters you're not going to recognize, but their impact is going to be felt very quickly. And I can't talk about a lot of it, but I think that the way that they're slow rolling these characters, I'm so excited. I don't know how to really say it without spoiling it. Um, but the possibility of how the story is going to go, and the danger and the detriment that this can also lead to, I think is going to be epic. Because the first season, how they handled the character, that became Parasite, it was a very slow roll, but he ended up becoming one of the most dangerous things last season. And so I think if you use that as a placeholder to certain things they put in this episodes or first two episodes, I think that I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised by it. But as far as the only thing I'm gonna have a critique about, it's not necessarily a negative, is that the first season there are certain limits to Clark's powers that we kind of like, whoa, he's got like supercharged abilities, heightened abilities that he hasn't tapped into yet. And in the first two episodes, we haven't really gotten that. We've gotten certain situations where he's had to kind of, really push himself, but not to the levels that we've seen very early on, certain seeds that he left in the first season. So I'm wondering if they're going to nerf him or if they're going to bring that back when there's an actual real threat. I don't know. Do you know what I mean by that, Busy? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I want you to kind of elaborate more. I don't want to.
So there was a situation that happened in the first season where he was fighting the robots, and he, within his own strength, he wasn't strong enough to do it. This is long before he even got a suit. And something that motivated him was Lois, and his eyes turned completely blue.
Oh, okay.
And his strength elevated, and his
it's like he went kind of like
elevated.
Ultra Instinct in a way. Yeah. So
Correct.
we had that happen actually in the finale, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was either the finale or episode 9, and there is a term for it. Because Superman does got levels. He do got levels, but at the end of the day, we've never been able to see it due to the fact that like the movies can't really. It's already OP, you know what I'm saying. So it's like it's really interesting to see how they were kind of implementing that. And I'm totally I remember exactly what you're talking about now. But yeah, so I mean that's something that I feel like is going to be new because the evolution of Superman, like the one thing that I really enjoy, and I feel like we've seen it in plenty of times, is him adapting to his abilities and him kind of growing as a hero. Whether it's getting the heat vision or X-ray vision or developing it over time. But the one thing that I feel like they've never really been able to showcase is that kind of rage, or not even a rage, but like that next level.
Yeah.
So I feel like I know there's a term for it, and it's killing me, but I'm really excited to see how they handle that.
Yeah, him. I think is him reaching a certain level of his actual potential, his real potential. Um, and I just hope they don't nerf that. I don't want them to just kind of shy away from that. Especially with certain dangers that we're seeing in this one. So to talk about some of the action in this, the action is pretty good. But I know that they've done a lot crazier things. I think the thing that I love so far about the first two episodes is the possibility of where the story is going to go. Certain things that you find out the first two episodes, certain places that we get to go, certain people that we get to meet. It's just cool. It's good storytelling. The concern I may have is more so about certain characters not going into certain truths that's going to tie the story up. But I think that they're smart enough to not fall into that pit. So I'm going to be hopeful on that. But that's my only critique outside of the Ultra Instinct Superman. But what's your final thoughts and any critiques that you possibly have?
I don't know. I think the start, it was a really strong start.
Yeah.
It was it better than the start that we got in season 1? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. But it's definitely on par. It's up
Yeah.
there. I wouldn't say it's better. I don't know, but I know it's up there, and I feel like that's enough considering how fun of a start my adventures with Superman season 1 was. So I feel like similar stuff here. So I'm really excited to see what they do. Should be great.
Yeah. So you guys, as you're watching this now, if you're on the East Coast, on the West Coast, it will be debuting tonight at midnight on the East Coast. So go and check it out. It's actually a whole hour long, so you get two episodes all in one.
Back to
And
back.
if you go to Busy's channel, you may check out some of our reactions between today and tomorrow. So while you're enjoying your day off tomorrow, go and check out our reactions. Go and check this out. I think you're going to have a fun time. I think it's a banger so far. I'm excited that we're getting more from this amazing series, and hopefully we get even more. So, Busy, where can everybody find your content, man?
Follow me, Busy Braun, everywhere, man. Busy reactions on Instagram, and I'm just excited to drop more content. But you can find me over here, of course, on TeamJVS dropping reviews.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. And check out his TikTok too. Got some crazy bangers from certain other superhero related stuff up there as well. But thank you, Busy, for joining me. Thank you guys
Always,
for
bro.
watching. Oh, we didn't give a rating. A to F. Where are we rating this so far?
Sheesh, B plus.
I was thinking A minus or B plus. Yeah, like it's kind of just hit a stride.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not worried at all. So
Yeah.
you guys go and check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned tonight to go and check it out. Thanks, people. Peace.
Oh wait, that.
Falling off the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.